The name Darth Vader strikes fear across the galaxy. But what does Darth actually mean? And why was it almost forgotten before Darth Bane brought it back? Hello there, and welcome to today's video, where I'm going to be detailing the illustrious history behind the Darth title, why it was used by Sith Lords, how it fell out of fashion, and finally, how it became the ultimate signifier of the Banite era Sith Lords. But before we get into all of that, I think it's important to establish what exactly is the Darth title. The title of Darth is bestowed upon those of the Order of the Sith, a group of Force wielders who channeled the dark side of the Force. The title of Darth roughly translates to Dark Lord, and preceded a moniker that would ultimately replace the Sith Lord's original name. Some of the most famous examples of this include Anakin Skywalker becoming Darth Vader, Sheev Palpatine becoming Darth Sidious, and Count Dooku becoming Darth Tyrannus. This bestowing of the Darth title was seen as something of an initiation for Banite-era Sith Lords, who were generally given their moniker after their master reached deep into the Force. Darth Sidious laid a pale hand on Anakin's brow.
Then it is done. You are now one with the Order of the Dark Lords of the Sith. From this day forward, the truth of you, my apprentice, now and forevermore will be Darth.
A pause, a questioning in the Force. An answer, dark as the gap between galaxies. He heard Sidious say it, his new name, Vader. A pair of syllables that meant him. Vader, he said to himself. Vader. But how did the Darth title come to be? And why was it discontinued before Darth Bane ultimately resurrected the ancient tradition? Unfortunately, there is no precise origin for the title of Darth, though some in-galaxy historians have argued that Darth is merely a corruption of the Rakata word Daratha, meaning emperor. Others have noted a different Rakata connection, that being the Rakatan words Dar and Ta, which translates to triumph and death, respectively. This has led to a theory that Darth is derived from Dar Ta, which would then naturally translate to triumph over death, often seen as, meaning immortal. However, the flaw in these theories is that the title of Darth was well known by the Jedi prior to Revan and Malak's rediscovery of the Rakata and their Starforge, and their subsequent return as Sith Lords. While these theories are fascinating, the truth is that the Sith had been using the Darth title long before the Rakata were rediscovered, and as such, all that can be truly ascertained is that the Darth title was commonly used by ancient Sith Lords, such as Darth Andidu, Darth Revan, and Darth Nihilus. By the time of Lord Kaan's Brotherhood of Darkness, the title of Darth had fallen out of favor with Sith Lords, until the establishment of the Banite era. But why? And how did Bane bring about a resurgence of the Darth title? Bane was a student of the Sith Academy on Korriban during the time of the New Sith Wars that had been instigated by Lord Kaan and his Brotherhood of Darkness. A soldier on the Sith side of the conflict, Bane was plucked from his unit when his latent Force abilities were discovered, and offered a position amongst the Sith Lords, provided he passed his basic training on the Sith homeworld of Korriban. It was on Korriban that Bane developed a fascination with the ancient texts within the library that ultimately led to Bane developing a curiosity over the seemingly extinct Darth title. Academy life and Bane's meteoric rise through the ranks led him to briefly abandoning these ancient texts, before ultimately falling out of favor and rediscovering that curiosity. And during that curiosity, he asks his Blade Master Kasim why the Darth title has been abandoned. This is what Kasim says on the matter. Master, why don't the Sith use the Darth title anymore? It was Lord Kaan's decision, the Twi'lek told him as he toweled off.
The Darth tradition is a relic of the past. It represents what the Sith once were, not what we are now. Bane shook his head, dissatisfied with the answer.
After a little bit more prodding, Bane is able to extract his answer from his rather uncooperative teacher.
To understand why the title is no longer used, you must understand what it truly represents. The Darth title was more than just a symbol of power. It was a claim of supremacy. It was used by those Dark Lords who have sought to enforce their will on the other masters. It was a challenge, a warning to bow down or be destroyed. Of course, few of the Dark Lords would ever submit to another's will for long, Kasim continued. Wherever one of our order took up the Darth title, deception and betrayal were always close at hand to snatch it away. There can be no peace for a master who dares to use the Darth title.
Even more poking and prodding by Bane leads Kasim to assert that the Darth title acted as a target upon a Sith Lord's back, as it would identify the true leaders of the Sith Order to the Jedi. However, Bane is quickly able to push aside this excuse, as he recognizes that the true leader of the Sith, would be recognizable to the Jedi whether they bore the title of Darth or not. Instead, Bane comes to the realization that Kaan banned the title in hopes of fostering equality and unity amongst the Sith Lords, a principle that goes against the very nature of the Sith and the dark side of the Force itself. Bane recognizes the banishment of the title as an attempt to mold the Sith Lords into an organization more akin to the Jedi, and so, when Bane comes up with his idea to wipe out the Brotherhood of Darkness and begin again from scratch, he publicly claims the title of Darth in front of the other Sith Lords, as a demonstration of his own might, and as a challenge to any who would dare stop him. Darth Bane succeeds in his mission to destroy the Brotherhood of Darkness, and so convinces the Jedi that the Sith have been destroyed, allowing him to plot the ultimate revenge of the Sith from the shadows, where the Sith can lie in wait for as long as is needed before finally exterminating the Jedi. But the legacy of the Darth title would be passed on to Darth Bane's apprentice, Darth Vader, and all who followed in the Banite era of Sith Lords, marking them as the one true lineage of dark side Force users. The title of Darth would continue to mark agents of the dark side long after the ending of the Banite era of Sith Lords, showing just how widespread and far-reaching this ancient tradition had become. From ancient Sith emperors to Darth Bane's cunning survival and revitalization of the Sith Order, the title of Darth became more than just a name. It became a legacy. And by the time of Darth Vader, it wasn't just a title, it was a warning. Honestly, it's been really nice to kind of get back into the swing of like the Star Wars expanded universe, like all those books and stories. It really just makes me feel good about Star Wars again, which is something I've been sorely lacking. So hopefully, as I keep going through several and several EU volumes that I own, I'll be able to keep the videos coming. But, if you like this kind of video, if you'd prefer more character analysis, let me know in the comments down below, and thank you for watching.